Hi, everybody. I am here today with Jan Wood. She is the AAMC Foundation President and Chief Development Officer, who has a big announcement about the new partnership with Friends of Annapolis Moms to launch Food for the Frontline. Thank you so much for making time to talk with me today.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to reach out to everyone and to thank you all for what you're doing for healthcare in our community during the pandemic. It's really very vital and much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. It's been an honor. So through Food for the Front Line, Friends of Annapolis Moms is coordinating the in-kind food donations and collecting monetary donations to purchase and coordinate food through the local restaurants and caterers. Can you speak a little bit to what kind of prompted this partnership?
Sure. It was a little bit of a tiger by the tail where I and a few of my team members were getting calls from wonderful people all over the region who wanted to stop by tomorrow and bring lunch for everybody in the IC unit from Mission Barbecue or wherever it might be, which is that spirit is so wonderful. And frankly, we need that food. We need those deliveries, but there are infection control issues, there are security issues, there are all sorts of, so we had to figure out a way, how do we take this tiger by the tail and really organize it, manage it so in a way that meets the needs of all these wonderful people and their goals of supporting our staff who really need this support, but do it in a way that's manageable and we can control and keep everyone safe, because we want to keep the delivery people safe. We want to keep the donors safe. We want to make sure that this is done with everybody's well-being in mind. So the partnership with Annapolis Moms, I always say, if you want to get something done, get a group of moms together and it'll get done. It'll get done right and on time. And you guys are bringing that to life with this program.
Wonderful. So I think one of the questions that comes up is food. Like, why are we feeding? Why do people seem to really want to feed all of your staff? And why are we doing it?
So, there's the technical answer and then there's the emotional answer. And I think the emotional answer first is food is love. Food is how we show people that we care about them and we want to take care of them in our homes, wherever we are. Food is love. And I think for these docs and nurses and staff members and administrators and all of us who are working 7 days a week right now, 24/7, trying to take care of the community, gifts of food show love, and that our community is behind us and appreciates us and wants to do all they can to support our efforts. So that's the intangible part that's maybe even more special than the practical part, which is we've all got to eat, and these folks are we're all running around, we're whether it's eating in meetings or grabbing a snack bar and going to the next thing, or it's the patients and the nurses and the docs who are at the patient bedside day in and day out. These folks are working very long shifts, not much break in between. So to be able to not have to think about that and to know I'm going to be able to walk out of this patient room, grab 20 minutes, and there's going to be something delicious waiting for me, that my community wanted to make sure I was okay and that I'm able to focus on what I need to focus on as a caregiver. That's super special. You can't box that.
One of the things I really love about this program is the cash donations, which we're estimating it's about $10 a meal, and we're able through this program to support local restaurants. One thing that the hospital was really clear on is they want this purchased locally. They want to support local restaurants and caterers. And I mean, as a small business, I think, and working with so many small businesses, that was really amazing. We're
Yeah. I
grateful.
think that's important to us. I think the secret sauce for Arundel Medical Center, and I've been there a long time, and it's my hospital, it's where my kids were born and where we get our care, is that it is very much a state of the art regional medical center with a community hospital culture. And that's a very unique thing in Maryland and frankly around the country. and we take that community culture very seriously. One of the reasons we got rid of our gala and moved Denim and Diamonds, which now replace the gala, is that the gala had to be in a hotel and there weren't any hotels big enough. And so we were doing it in Baltimore. And we said, if we're going to do a big event and put money into this economy to raise funds, it ought to be to support local vendors and local caterers and local tent companies and all those things. So we take that partnership with the community very seriously. The reality is our hospital was founded on an act of philanthropy. It was the gift of a farmhouse by a local man who knew that we needed to be able to care for people who were getting hurt here in Annapolis, and he donated his farmhouse, and a group of nurses donated their time, and Arundel Medical Center grew out of that. So this is what y'all are doing is a great extension of that history and that tradition.
That's wonderful. Thank you. One of the things we're hearing is that we will be feeding about 600 people a day. That's enormous.
It's going to grow. We expect that by the time we reach our peak, we will have, well over 400 to 600 patients of various, not just COVID, but our regular patients. And we're preparing for that kind of a load so that we can make sure everybody gets the care that they need. And then that takes a lot of caregivers working around the clock to make sure those folks get the first quality care that they need.
It's amazing. One other thing I think was really awesome is that you have developed a store, a shop where your staff can go and grab something that maybe they don't have time to shop for.
Right.
It's remarkable to me that there's going to be, they can pick up supplies, snacks, things like that, and bring it home. So they're not first going straight from a chaotic hospital environment to try to grab stuff at the store. It feels like you've really thought of everything that could possibly, take care of your staff.
Yeah, I think, again, part of that culture is we're a team and we listen to the staff and we try and anticipate their needs where we can and respond to their needs when we need to do that as well. And one of the things folks were saying to us is, they might have 12, 24 hours between a shift. They've got to go home and shower and sleep and say hi to their families, and to be able to then have to go to the grocery store and spend a half an hour doing that. They're tired. Whatever we can do to make their lives easier so that they can focus not only on the care they're giving our patients, but also on their own well-being and the well-being of their families. That's important too. We can't take care of people as caregivers if we don't take care of ourselves and our own families, and that peace of mind is super important.
Right. So it's called, we all named it Food for the Frontline, which I think is just such a perfect name for what we're trying to do.
Great.
We're asking for cash donations to underwrite. So there's these restaurants who want to give, and rather than them absorbing the cost, they can make a 100% tax deductible donation, and then we can pay the restaurant to serve the food. So it's taking care of the restaurant staff. It's taking care of like a small economy, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about this partnership. We knew what needed to be done. We were getting all these calls, and it was just an awful lot to organize and manage. You all really came up with a great system. And I think the most important thing is to make it as easy and convenient as possible. People want to do the right thing. They want to help. And so you all are making it easier for them to do that. And that's a gift in and of itself.
Well, we're truly honored to get to help. I think everyone wants to help, and it's very difficult to figure out the best ways. So in terms of the donations, they and you guys, we will make sure that there's links to all of these things, and you're going to start seeing a lot of information going out.
Right.
This is our official launch. But you will be able to go to foodforthefrontline.org. And if you go there, you'll be able to make a cash donation to underwrite the supplies for the store, or also underwrite meals. And then if you are a restaurant or caterer and you want to be chosen, we can work with you. Jennifer Navabi, our amazing executive director is the one coordinating all this, and she can go through and make sure that you meet the demands to keep safety in place and things like that. So, which is, individual meals. It can't be, the regular catering and the big. Can you explain that real quick? Why we're doing it that way?
Sure. Keep in mind right now what's happening on those floors. It's nonstop. It's busy. Um, there's not a lot of space because we've got to bring in extra supplies. We're gowning and masking at rates never before because of the infection issues and the safety issues. So we don't have space to lay out big buffets, and folks don't have time to make plates. And so the way that you're doing it allows them to get good, delicious, nourishing food, take a quick break and a bite, and then get back to doing what they are passionate about doing, which is caring for this community.
Well, we will be doing this as long as necessary. We, Annapolis Moms, is so thrilled to be able to help in some small part on this mission. And I leave you with some parting words for everyone.
Well, I can't thank you enough. This has been an interesting last month as we've delved into this pandemic, and you see the unimaginable in frightening ways, but you also see the unimaginable in the heart and the love and the spirit that makes this community so special. And when I say community, on both sides of the bridge, because we care for folks on the Eastern Shore as well as in Arundel County and beyond, and the outpouring of love and support as shown by Annapolis Mom and some moms and so many others is just tremendous. So on behalf of the thousands of employees and their families and patients and their families who will benefit from your generosity and will never know your name and not know who you are, but they know who they know what you've done, and they are incredibly grateful, and so are we. So thank you.
Thank you, and please be safe and healthy.
You as well. You will, and take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.